Have you ever lain awake at night at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling? Your body is exhausted, yet your brain will not shut off. And you know tomorrow you are going to pay the price. Here's the thing, sleep deprivation isn't just about feeling tired the next day. It actually affects every system in your body. When you don't get enough sleep, your immune system can weaken, meaning you might get sick more often. Your brain fog thickens, meaning you can't focus and you forget things. Your mood becomes unpredictable. You're irritable, you're anxious, or flat. Your cortisol spikes, keeping you wired even when you're exhausted. Your blood pressure rises. This can cause a strain on your heart. Your cravings go up. Your body searches for quick energy from sugar and carbs. Here is the part that really matters in this conversation. When you are sleep deprived, your nervous system gets stuck in sympathetic mode: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Your body is constantly bracing, constantly on that survival mode, having no bandwidth for healing, repair, or restoration. So, what if there was a gentle, drug free approach that could actually help you sleep? Something that's backed by research, non invasive, and that you can receive from anywhere. That is what we are talking about today: Reiki for sleep and the science behind it. If you don't know me, my name is Kimberly Rae. I'm a registered nurse, a Reiki Master, and a belief and wellness coach. And I've spent years working with clients navigating health challenges, high performance stress, and those sleepless nights. So let's dive into what the research actually says. First, we're going to talk about what Reiki is and how it works for sleep. Reiki is a Japanese healing technique where the energy of the Reiki is transmitted through the practitioner's hands. Reiki sessions can be done in person or virtually, often called distance Reiki. And virtual Reiki sessions are wonderful because you can receive Reiki no matter where you are. Here is the key mechanism. Reiki activates your parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest, digest, and heal state. This is the opposite of the fight, flight, or freeze. When your parasympathetic system is engaged, your heart rate slows down, your breathing deepens, your muscles start to relax, your cortisol levels drop, your melatonin production increases. In other words, Reiki creates an ideal environment for sleep. And here's what's beautiful about this: you don't have to believe in energy work for it to work. You just have to be tired of feeling wired and tired. Reiki doesn't require you to try harder, it asks you to receive, to allow, and to rest. Now, I'm not here to tell you that receiving a Reiki session just feels good and relaxing. I'm here to show you what the science says. And the science is genuinely compelling, which is fabulously interesting to me as a Reiki practitioner. You know, I have known for years that something amazing was happening for my clients. And it is such a beautiful time that we're living in now, that we have some research coming out that backs up what my clients and other Reiki practitioners' clients have been telling them for many, many years. Let's start with a study published in 2024 in the Journal of Epilepsy and Behavior. So, researchers in Turkey looked at 60 patients with epilepsy. Now, epilepsy is a condition where sleep problems are incredibly common, both from the disease process itself and from the medications used to treat it. So they divided the patients into two groups. One received Reiki, one did not. And then they measured the sleep quality using something called the Pittsburgh Sleep Quality Index. This is a well-validated tool used in sleep research. Here's what they found. The Reiki group had statistically significant improvements in the following: subjective sleep quality, sleep latency, meaning how long it takes to fall asleep, their duration of sleep, their habitual sleep efficiency. There was decreased sleep disturbances and decreased daytime dysfunction. Oh, so good. And every single one of these was statistically significant. I'll leave the research in the description box if you want to look at that. So the researchers concluded that the application of Reiki should be generalized in addition to the basic nursing care practices for patients with epilepsy. This is a strong recommendation from a peer-reviewed medical journal. We're going to talk about that statement of nursing care and Reiki in just a moment. I love that it is being recommended by a peer-reviewed journal, but I am not sure that nurses today can have one more thing added to their plate. Now, I'm going to talk more about that beautiful statement about nurses and Reiki at the bedside. But first, I want to address another study. So, this study was published in the Journal of Explore. It was completed in 2024 as well, and it looked at Reiki for people with multiple sclerosis. Now, MS is a chronic autoimmune condition that affects, I believe, more women than men and can cause profound fatigue and sleep disruption. This was a randomized control study with 60 participants. 30 were in the Reiki group and 30 were in the control group. And the researchers measured both fatigue and sleep quality. The results were clear. Reiki was significantly effective in improving both fatigue and sleep quality in people with MS. Yay. And here's the part that really stands out to me. The researchers wrote that because Reiki is a simple and accessible method, its use in the management of MS should be encouraged and maintained in nursing practice. Now, I want to pause here and be really honest with you. As a former bedside nurse, I know what that sentence means. I know the weight that nurses carry. I know the impossible workload, the understaffing, the endless charting, and the emotional toll. I know that when I was at the bedside, there were simply so many times that to add Reiki provider to my list of tasks to complete was just impossible. And that's exactly why I'm here. I left the bedside to become Nashville's medical Reiki Master. My mission is to be the bridge between the research and the patient, to take the burden off of our overworked nurses and providers by providing this gentle, science-backed, supportive care directly to patients. And for those of you outside of Nashville, or for anyone who can't make it to an in-person session, you can receive Reiki virtually from anywhere around the globe. Distance does not matter. Your nervous system will respond no matter where you are. When you see a study recommending Reiki in nursing practice, Know that I am here to make that possible. I am here to support you, your healing, and your sleep while letting our bedside heroes focus on what they do the best. Now, let's look at one more condition called COPD. This study on COPD was again done in 2024, or was published in 2024 in the Journal of Holistic Nursing Practice, and focused on patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. COPD is a progressive lung disease that makes it very hard to breathe. And when you can't breathe well, you often can't sleep well. There is also a significant psychological component to COPD. Patients with COPD often experience something called death anxiety, which further disrupts their sleep. Now, this study involved 75 patients, 39 in the Reiki group and 36 in the placebo group. And the results showed statistically significant differences in sleep quality between the Reiki and the placebo group. But here is something that's really interesting. The researchers found that Reiki not only improved sleep quality, but also increased self-efficacy, the patient's belief in their own ability to manage their condition. And that death anxiety, that decreased as well. This is a powerful reminder that Reiki doesn't just work on the physical level, it works on the emotional and psychological levels too. Because when you're less anxious, you sleep better. And when you sleep better, you feel more capable. It's a beautiful upward spiral. Now, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. In 2024, researchers conducted a systemic review and a meta analysis of Reiki and sleep disturbance. They searched 9 databases and reviewed 2,334 articles to find the highest quality randomized controlled trials. 3 studies met their rigorous criteria and their results were clear. The p-value was less than 0.001, which means the results are highly statistically significant. And the plain English is that the data shows that Reiki has real, measurable potential for improving sleep disturbances. Now, the researchers did note that more evidence is needed before Reiki can be fully accepted as a proven treatment. That's how science works. It's cautious, it's conservative, and it requires replication. But here's what I want you to notice. The evidence is building. Study after study is showing the same thing. Reiki helps people sleep. The effect is significant enough that researchers are taking notice. Now, beyond all the numbers, let's talk about what people actually experience, actually feel during a Reiki session. So in 2022, researchers published a qualitative study in the Journal of Integrative and Complementary Medicine. That's just a fancy way of saying they asked people to describe their Reiki experience in their own words. They collected responses from 1,284 Reiki sessions. That's a nice sample size. And here's what they found: 68% of people reported deep relaxation and calm. 53% reported bodily sensations, things like warmth, tingling, a gentle pulsation of energy. 29% reported emotional shifts, and 10% reported sleep or drowsiness. Now, 10% doesn't seem like a huge number, but remember, this study is about the overall Reiki experience, not a study specifically about sleep. And 10% of the people spontaneously mentioned falling asleep or feeling drowsy during their Reiki session. And I have to say, this is a very common experience that I see in many people who receive Reiki from me. Many people fall asleep or just enter this really deep, relaxed state. The researchers concluded that Reiki can elicit the relaxation response and alter emotions and perceptions in such a way as to facilitate a transformative, subjective healing experience. In other words, Reiki helps your body remember how to rest. Now, listen to this part. Every single study I shared used in person Reiki as the method, but distance or virtual Reiki works just as well. Consider the information from a 2023 study that looked at distance Reiki for frontline healthcare workers during the COVID-19 crisis. These people who were incredibly stressed, sleep deprived, and burnt out. I remember. I worked during that time. The results of the study showed that distance Reiki was associated with decreased stress, decreased anxiety, decreased pain, and increased sleep quality and well being. Reiki for the win for our healthcare workers. You do not have to be in the same room as a Reiki practitioner to receive the benefits. Energy doesn't care about distance. Your nervous system responds to the intention, the frequency, and the gentle invitation of rest. This is why I offer virtual Reiki sessions, because I know the people who need this support the most are often the ones who can't leave their homes, can't make it for an in person session because they're often navigating health challenges that make travel difficult. So, how do you actually use this information? Step one, schedule a Reiki session. Whether it's in person or virtual, the research shows that even a single Reiki session can make a difference. If you are dealing with chronic sleep issues, consider a series of sessions. The effects tend to build over time. 2, create a sleep ritual, a bedtime routine. Take some time to wind down. Put your phone away an hour before you go to sleep. Take some time to do some deep breathing and some easy stretches. Let your nervous system know that it's safe to rest. 3, receive distance Reiki while you sleep. Some of my clients listen to Reiki transmissions that I make for them as they're falling asleep. The gentle energy work continues to support their nervous system through the night. 4, be patient with yourself. Sleep issues often have deep roots. Reiki isn't a magic wand. It is a gentle and consistent practice that supports your body in remembering how to rest. Give it time. Trust the process. So here's what I want you to take away from this video. Sleep isn't optional. It's essential. And when your sleep is disrupted, whether from a health condition, stress, or just the demands of our modern day life, your entire body suffers. Reiki offers a gentle, science backed way to support your sleep. The research is growing. The evidence is building, and the experience of thousands and thousands of people confirm what the studies are showing. Reiki helps you rest. You are ready to experience this for yourself. Here's how I can support you. The Reiki Oasis Inner Glow Guild. This is a weekly community container where I channel live virtual Reiki sessions and offer mindset shifts for all areas of your life. Then you can schedule a virtual Reiki session, 75 minutes, distance Reiki for medical stress, modern day stress, or simply to support a better night's sleep for you this evening. And then my last offering is my I Am an Empowered Patient program. This is deep support through health challenges and major life transitions. Apply via a Vision for Me call. I only accept a select few because this is a very deep program. All of the links are below, and if you found this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. Hype the video. I'm on a mission to reach 100,000 subscribers because it means more people get to learn about Reiki, and that is why I'm here. Comment below. What keeps you awake at night? I read every comment. I am Kimberly Rae. Sleep well tonight and be on the lookout. I am going to make a Reiki infused meditation for you to have a wonderful night's sleep. It'll be out on the channel soon. Thank you again, and you all have a beautiful night's rest.